from Surveillance Specialist Group, and welcome back to another segment of Mobile Surveillance 101. Today we're going to cover how to set up your very first surveillance vehicle. Some of the topics we're going to cover in this video are personal relief systems, followed by curtains, creating barricades within the surveillance vehicle, how to deal with reflections, and a few other topics. So let's get to it. There's going to come a time on your surveillance that you're going to have to relieve yourself. Now, there's been many investigations that have been spoiled because an investigator left his surveillance position to go to the bathroom to take care of business. So I'm going to show you how you can take care of business and remain on site and get that video that you're looking for. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started with personal relief systems. Let's say you would bring this water with you on your surveillance. You consume all of its contents, and then later on, it's time for you to relieve yourself. You cannot really use this same water bottle because if you notice, it's filled to the very top. Therefore, if you're sitting down in your surveillance vehicle, if you're male, and you try to refill this water bottle, it's not going to be able to fill, or you're not going to be able to put back into it what came out because it's completely full, and you'll be completely full. So therefore, you should always make sure you bring with you 2 bottles, whatever you're going to drink and something to put it in. And if you really want to be good at surveillance, what you want to do is make sure you have a container for everything that you drink. Because remember, whatever you drink is never going to be able to fit back into the same bottle without rolling down your window, which compromises your surveillance location, pouring it out, rolling your window back up, filling it again. Next time you got to relieve yourself, you roll down the window again, pour it out, and people are going to notice that big water stain next to your car. Should the police show up to figure out why you're sitting on the street, they're going to be pretty upset to know that they're standing in your pee. So always bring a water bottle or empty container for everything you drink. Now you're saying, okay, well, why don't we just bring a bigger container? Bringing a container like this is very important because I just took the cap off and fell. It has a bigger opening than your water bottle. And I don't want to get into that, but hopefully, you need a bigger opening to fill. So the next thing is, if you were to bring a big water container like this or a container like this, the problem with containers like this is they don't fit in the cup holder or in the compartments of the door that have a cup holder in them. That means that when you're driving around in your surveillance, there's a likelihood that this might become a projectile as you're making sharp turns or you're driving fast or you hit the brakes, which could make the top pop off, and now you've just spilled the contents all over the interior of your vehicle. Not very productive. So make sure that you use a water bottle that you can put the top back on and place into a cup holder or in the armrest or something like that so it doesn't go flying around the vehicle. And make sure you teach your kids, never drink Daddy's yellow Gatorade. Okay, the next topic I would like to cover is how to hide in plain sight. Meaning, when you're on your surveillance, you're going to be in your vehicle. Many surveillances are compromised because the investigator is either moving around inside the vehicle or one of the neighbors just happen to be looking out of their windows and they see a silhouette moving around inside the vehicle and they realize that somebody's hiding in a vehicle. Now they don't know that you're a private investigator and chances are you don't want them to know. So I'm going to show you how you can effectively hide in your surveillance vehicle. The very first tool that you can use to create comfort as well as hide inside your surveillance vehicle is the use of a sunshade. Now, I didn't bring a sunshade for this section because you already know what a sunshade is. What I did bring with you is I want to teach you a simple solution to hiding inside of the surveillance vehicle by creating a barricade. Now, a barricade is going to reduce the amount of light traffic going through your vehicle. By that I mean, if you were to stand in front of your vehicle and look at your vehicle straight on, the back window is going to create a backlight situation for the passenger and driver's seat, and therefore you see the silhouette of the seats when you look through the car. The same thing goes if you're looking from the back of the vehicle, you're going to see a silhouette of the seats, and then you're going to be able to see out of the front of the window. So by creating a void using black and creating a barricade, people don't have the ability to see through the vehicle, which reduces your silhouette. Now I'm going to show you a very, very inexpensive solution to creating a barricade. This is a clothing rod for a vehicle. This can be picked up at any auto parts store, and what it does is it's telescopic, it stretches out, and it hangs on the hooks just behind the driver's and passenger's front seat. What you can do with this is add a curtain like this, and what this will allow you to do is when you're on your surveillance, when you're not driving, you can keep the curtain closed, and you're going to have two of these, but I'm going to use one because I don't want to cut myself off in the camera. And when you're driving, you have this tucked behind the driver's seat and you're driving along, you stop, you're ready to set up on surveillance, you know you're going to be there for a while. So what you can do is just reach back, you pull the curtain closed, and now you've created a barrier between you and the back of the vehicle, and now you also have a void/backdrop. So very, very inexpensive, effective solution in creating a backdrop to keep light from passing from the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle. So now let's talk about creating a backdrop or reducing the light passing from the vehicle from side to side. In order to reduce the amount of light inside your vehicle, the first choice, of course, is going to be to use window tint. Highly recommended. If you have a vehicle with factory tint and maybe you don't want to spend the money on adding additional tint, then here's another quick solution. Cover the inside windows. This is also very effective if you're on one side of the vehicle and you're videotaping, let's say out of the driver's side, you want to cover up the videos on the passenger side of the vehicle so that people can't see your silhouette moving around inside the vehicle. You want to contain yourself inside the vehicle and make sure that it's as dark and as comfortable as possible. And by using a sunshade and using curtains will also reduce the amount of heat traveling into the vehicle. So, let's discuss methods of covering up the inside of your vehicle. Method number one is not highly recommended because it reduces your visibility to drive the vehicle later on. You should always drive with caution. And again, these are only tips for when you're sitting in the vehicle and not moving. You should not operate your vehicle at any time when your windows are closed or covered and you can't see out of them. So remember, safety first. If you're traveling on a surveillance, or perhaps you're using a surveillance, a rental van or a rental SUV, you might be good enough to drive and see out of your side windows, and perhaps you don't need to see out of your back windows. One of the things that you can do is bring with you tape, whether it's masking tape and garbage bags, and you can use that very, very quickly to tape off the back of your car in a rental vehicle. You also might want to use some alcohol to clean any dirt, grease, or residue off of the plastic on the inside of the vehicle before you try to tape onto it, because masking tape isn't a very strong tape, but it's also a very good tape to use because it won't leave gummy glue residue on the inside of your vehicle. Let's talk about the next choice. Okay, my next choice is, and what I highly recommend, is using a mesh-like material like you would find on a screen door and black gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape is widely used in the video production industry because it's a very, very strong tape. It's black, it doesn't reflect, and it doesn't leave sticky residue. They often use it to tape with drop cords to the floor, but in this case, you're going to use it to take your mesh-like material and you're going to tape it onto the plastic on the inside of your vehicle. And why that's highly effective is you will not have light passing through the car as much as you did before, but mesh will give you the ability to still see out of the window. However, it reduces the ability for people to see into the vehicle. So in the event that you need to quickly start driving your vehicle, you still have some ability to see out of the window in the event that you haven't pulled down that window covering yet.